Training on Tuesday, workout on Wednesday, small group on Thursday, film night on Friday, a session on Saturday, before the match on Sunday.
But Sunday is the Sabbath. It's a holy day when we can gather as God's people. How can we give that up for sport?
Sunday is also match day. If I give up on matches, I give up on my sport. So how can we solve this problem?
There isn't a simple answer to this problem. The Apostle Paul tells us that the Sabbath is a question of conscience. He writes, one person considers one day more sacred than another considers every day alike. Each of them should be fully convinced in their own mind. Whoever regards one day as special does so to the Lord.
So, would I go to church on Sunday instead of playing sport? That's the right thing to do?
If you do that to honour the Lord, then yes. But missing matches regularly will impact your relationship with your team. And if you're a professional sports person, you could lose your job.
Paul also makes it clear that we can treat every day the same. So it's fine for me to play sport on Sunday.
Yes, but be careful about missing church, as that has a big impact on us too. It's important to be clear. This is a question of conscience. So let's not judge those who come to different conclusions. But nevertheless, there are things we should not give up on that it's worth talking about.
Like the Sabbath.
We can start there. In Genesis, God blesses one day of the week and made it a day of rest for all humanity. So we stop and rest. We don't work all the time.
And that's just like how sport works. Monday is recovery day after the match. So our bodies and the Bible agree that rest is good and rest is necessary.
But Sabbath rest is special. It's not just stopping our regular activity. It's also about taking time to focus on God and to reorientate ourselves back to Him.
And the Sabbath is about the future too. In Hebrews, we learn there is a Sabbath rest that is still to come for God's people.
So whatever we decide about playing sport on Sundays, we need to recognise that taking time to rest in Jesus is crucial.
Yes, and there's another important thing to think about. Here are some words from Hebrews. Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another.
So church is a place where we can spur one another on.
And we should not give up a meeting together. I always try to get to small group on Thursday, but our main church meeting is Sunday. I miss that too often.
Yes, church is vital for all Christians. And for those of us who decide to play sport on Sunday, we might need to make other choices to make sure we don't give up on meeting together with God's people.
So, as sports people, we were made to play. As humans, we were made to rest in Jesus. And as Christians, we were made to meet together. The problem is just that we live in a world where these things are often scheduled at the same time.
So, how do we solve this?
We need to talk about it more, with our pastors and with our families, especially if our kids are getting into sport. It's not a totally unique issue to sport either. Many others in our churches do essential work on a Sunday. We can learn from them too.
And whatever we decide, it's clear that it's important to not give up meeting together with our church somehow. That can mean going to an evening service, prioritising small groups, or visiting other churches when we're away from home.
And even when we've worked out that, we need to think about how and when we are resting. Does our rest, whenever it comes, reorientate our hearts to Christ?